Hello there. This is Cindy at cindybdesigns.com. Thank you for joining me today. This is a card I made earlier this week, which gave me the idea for the next two cards coming up, and we will be making one of them. But I'll get back to that birthday card more towards the end. The one on the right is like more masculine. The one with the melon mambo and lovely lipstick, that's more feminine. Or the one on the right can be more for like a couple or something, but I make a lot of birthday and sympathy cards right now. It's just a season, so I needed something that I could go to really quick. And Jezebel's joining me today on this voiceover. I have gone back to using the To a Wild Rose bundle, and I combined it with one of our Christmas bundles for that gold foil paper there. And I forgot the name of it, but it's in the supply list. And for that card, I used Purple Posy and Highland Heather. I'm leaving the inside blank so I can pull a sentiment from anywhere depending on what I need. Those are the die cuts and the stamp set for the To a Wild Rose bundle. And I'm going to be pulling off the large flower and then the leaves, because that's all we're just going to be working with two images, not two images, but two die cuts out of this set here. Those are our colors. Again, supply list, and I will talk about them as we do this project. I have a top folding A2, which is 4 1/4 across by 5 1/2 down, and Puppy is really distracting me, by the way, just thought I'd let you know. Probably is you too, but it's cute. Bringing in Stamparatus and just a piece of regular Whisper White card stock. The card base was thick. So I am grabbing the most solid of the images. There are 3 distinctive images for each main image. Like for the flower, 3-step stamping. You have the more solid image, like a layer image, and then a line art image. So I'm taking more of the solid image, and they are distinctive, so that's where you're going to see just the variation in there. That was done in Melon Mambo. So now, and that was the first layer for that flower. That is the second layer, and that's going to be put down in lovely lipstick. And I'm constantly adjusting the paper and the magnet and making sure everything is completely lined up, because I want everything, my images to line up. And I do too, just in case I mess up one, which I do, of course. I am bringing in the same with the leaf. We're going to do the solid one first, and that's going to be in Granny Apple Green. And my ink pads are low on ink, and I really liked the ombre effect I got from that, and I was thinking about leaving it, but decided not to. And I'm going to go all the way around those 4 corners and get that down. And after that, we're going to be pulling in Garden Green for that top layer and putting those down as well. So I'm just cleaning it up now, readjusting the paper again. I'm making sure that everything's lined up, and I'm going to lightly ink that up with Garden Green. And when you see me do that, and it looks great too, I'm doing that very light. And I lost my voice from yelling at the Super Bowl, because I live outside Kansas City, and there's a lot of screaming and hollering going on and whatnot. It was a great time. Good game too. So I'm waiting for that to come back. And I'm just taking that Garden Green all the way around and getting everything inked up. So now we're bringing back the base of the card, and that is just a scrap of the Golden Honey DSP that's in Celebration. And I don't have that bundle or anything. I bought it for the back side of that DSP is, well, I didn't buy it, is black and white. I consider that a staple, and that's what really attracted me to that designer series paper. And then putting it in a corner angle like that, really, it just adds a great interest to the card. And that was a gummy sponge to get glue off when it kind of oozes outside of the paper. So that's a 1/4 inch strip of basic black cardstock that has some tear and tape on the back. And I'm going to use that to separate the stripes, just like a border a little bit. And I label this about international cards because I do send them out. If you get Forever stamps, it's only $1.15. They have to weigh less than 1 ounce, and you want to keep them as flat as possible. But at the same time, you want it to be well designed and interesting, and that's why I thought about putting that striped cardstock over in the right corner on an angle, just to give that extra interest, because it is a very clean and simple card. So I'm pulling in the dies with some of that purple painter's tape that I've talked about before, and lining them up. And again, I'm always at a really funky angle on camera trying to get them straight. And you'll kind of see me blow them all throughout this, but like that one. But that's another reason why I do 2 at the same time, just in case. So we're going to get the flower cut out, and I ran it through separately this time just to give me a little insurance policy there, but the colors are gorgeous, layered on top of each other like that. So we're going to get the rest of the leaves cut out and then move on to our next step after that, which is bringing back in the Stamparatus. And I'm going to lay out the design of the card because we still have that sentiment to put on towards the left and above that basic black cardstock divider line. So I'm just messing with it and messing with it and messing with it some more. Need 3 hands, trying to keep everything down. And I love this tape, so I'm making sure that I have a piece of it across the flower and both of the leaves there. Thinking about what I'm going to do, grabbing the sentiment, lining it up, and pulling it off. I chose hello for the outside because that way I can leave the inside empty. I don't know if I said this earlier or not. And stamp whatever I want on the inside for a quick card when it calls for it. Because I always do the envelopes and keep them pretty generic with, like a piece of paper on the flap or something, and maybe a flower on the front. And that way that is done too. A lot of times I'll put like a little image in the middle or a piece of DSP, and that way all I have to do is add the sentiment again to keep it quick. So I'm putting some Tombow Mono on the back of the leaves there. I'm going to set that up, let it dry, because I do want that to stay flat. And I'm going to be pulling in some black Stampin' Dimensionals and put it on the back of our flower there. And you see me kind of squish them down a little bit like that. It just helps release the paper on the back of it easier. Normally I get 4 on that flower and it holds up okay, but I don't know what happened. I ended up putting way more than I needed to, and then I got neurotic and had to put one in the upper right corner there. So yeah, I went there. And I'm just pulling out the backings now. And with that purple tape, it just helps me keep it in where, where I want it to. It's the easiest hack in the world. And there we go. That is pretty much going to be our card. And there's still good height and dimension to it. I'll bring the steaming in a minute, but it's still flat enough and it weighs less than 1 ounce to make it an international card. And you could still load it up with sequins and everything like that, like you saw on this card here. It would not add any more weight to it. This to me was just very simple stamping, an easy card without a lot of embellishments. And I did keep the leaves the same colors all throughout. And that comes from Perennial Essence. The stamen is crushed curry, and there's just a sticker on the back. And I'm going to pop that in the middle. and then we're really done. With that flower there is Mellow Mambo and Lovely Lipstick, our purple/bluish one. And now I see why Purple Posy has been discontinued. It went down purple, but it came out blue. And that was Purple Posy and Highland Heather. But that's the card that we made today. And then for our birthday one, that was So Saffron and Crushed Curry, but I left everything on the supply list over on the blog at cindybedesigns.com. There'll be a link in this YouTube description taking you directly there. I hope that you enjoyed our project today. And these are great cards, great clean and simple cards that are really inexpensive to send to your overseas friends. So I hope you have a great weekend. God bless, and I will see you again tomorrow when we focus on Tropical Oasis for the next week. Have a good one. Bye.